All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our second mental performance training video of this spring season for USM Athletics. I am Coach Busy. Today, we'll be talking about how we can use imagery and visualization to build confidence. So I want to do a recap of the previous video because this sort of self-talk really bears repeating and should be practiced every day in school and in your sport. But in the previous video, we talked about three different kinds of self-talk that we can have. We have our red light thinking, which is negative. It's rooted in the past. It is about mistakes. It's about anxiety. An example is that I can't hit a single shot today. I suck. Things like that. Never helpful. Never ever helpful. We also have our green light thinking, which is positive, focused on the future. Not always hurtful, but also not always helpful, not always realistic. It kind of sets us up for higher expectations, and it's not really telling us what to do to succeed. So also want to avoid green light thinking. And the spot I want you guys to be in your daily life, in school and in sport, is our yellow light thinking, which is neutral. It's present focused. It ignores big emotions, big feelings, and kind of takes us from saying, what am I feeling, to what do I need to do? Now, I'm not saying ignore our feelings because we have them. If you're anxious, if you're mad, you're sad, you're happy, whatever, those are the things we have. It's more so what do we do about these, which is telling ourselves what to do to succeed and work through it and still be really successful in our sport. So, a little recap of our self-talk training video from last time. Make sure you take kind of a mental picture of this, continue to work on our yellow light thinking. Today, we'll be talking about visualization, and I like to frame it as visualizing greatness because we can truly use, just as self-talk, use our visualization and our imagery in ways that are hurtful as well. So visualization. Sometimes it's hard to say. I'm gonna start using the word imagery more. It's a really hard one for me to say, and it's funny because I say it all the time. Imagery, using our imaginations to think about ourselves succeeding. So again, we can use this in ways that we don't think about ourselves succeeding, but the true and most effective way is to think about ourselves succeeding. Visualizing success gives us the same feeling as actually having the experience. Putting ourselves in the position to think about our future and past successes is only helpful for us. It's sort of like I like to frame it like a mental highlight reel. I'm sure you guys have seen of yourself or athletes on social media, highlight reels of all their big plays. Imagery can kind of be like our own mental highlight reel, which is really helpful. And also, as I said before, we're just visualizing success, seeing the future, seeing ourselves succeed, looking into our past, watching ourselves succeed once again in our minds. So we're going to practice this. And if you've met with me at all in the fall, we did a similar, or in the winter, we did similar practice with our visualization and our relaxation. And if you're feeling like this is a repeat, it might be, but it is very helpful and very important. And the way I frame it today should be helpful for you. So I want you guys to quickly get into a comfortable position, either sitting up or laying down, either way. If you need a minute to get comfortable in this position, you can pause the video. If not, go ahead and do that now. And I want you to close your eyes. Now, I want you to put yourself into the future of your season, which isn't that far away. You guys are probably about halfway, maybe close to the end. I want you to imagine yourself or your team in regionals, sectionals, or the state playoffs, wherever you want to see yourself towards the end of the year. When you're thinking about this, I want you to think about what field or track or, the area that you're in, who you might be playing, and even the jersey that you're wearing. Really put yourself there. If that's at USM, if that's at your rival's field or stadium or wherever, I want you to kind of plant yourself there as if you're there right now and just imagine yourself there. And kind of once you get into that spot and you're kind of putting yourself into the future there, I want you to imagine yourself actually in the game or performance or event competing to the best of your ability. And so when I give you guys a couple minutes to do this, I want you to really imagine what this looks like, not doing anything that you haven't done before, but really visualizing you at your best and how you're helping your team win. And so everything should be really realistic, but only successful, not in the sense of we are being overly positive, like what we want to avoid, but just really realistic to the best of our ability, which is stuff we've seen ourselves do before. So I want you to take about 5 minutes, pause the video, and go through a couple plays or moments in that game in the future in your mind. All right, let's talk about that. Let's debrief. So, as I kind of mentioned before, sports psychologists say that using imagery can really elicit the same feelings as actually living out moments. And so, when you were doing that activity, sometimes imagery can cause us to feel a little worried and anxious because the future can cause anxiety for people. What I'm asking you to do is not anything unrealistic, but to really reflect on you as an athlete and what you look like when you play your best, which is something you've seen before. You've had your moments of playing your best. And so when we imagine that, we can really only feel happy and excited and calm, which is a really great place to be. If we use this for bad, if we use this in an unhelpful way, and we're letting our anxiety dictate our imagery, we imagine mistakes and we imagine failures. No, never helpful. Cut it off now. If you are replaying a mistake, it only should be in the sense of what am I doing differently next time, not in the sense of like that was so horrible. I need to punish myself by thinking about this over and over again. We can't change the past. We can only dictate the moment that we're in. And so when we let our anxiety do it, it roots us in the past, not the place that we have any control over. For good, imagery really can let confidence lead the way, and we can imagine success. And I think that's such a better spot to be in. How to practice this throughout the rest of your season. First and foremost, you can create a highlight reel. Some athletes see this as something that is unhelpful because they think it is like a selfish or a cocky thing. I think if we want to feel confident, we need to see ourselves succeed. And creating a highlight reel shows us the moments of our success. It's not telling us what we think we should be doing. It's not telling us mistakes. It's literally moments of us doing well, which I want you guys to see so we can see that we can do that again. And so creating a highlight reel kind of takes care of that for us and lets ourselves like sit down and be like, oh, I'm actually pretty good at what I'm doing, and it's super helpful. Definitely before practices, you can do a little imagery check-in, like going into some practices. I remember when I was a college volleyball player, I would be anxious about certain drills we'd be doing, and I would be nervous that I would not do well at them. So my imagery was always anxiety driven in those ways. If I had known that I could imagine myself actually succeeding in these drills, I would have felt a lot better. And so you can go through a practice plan or even a game and just imagining yourself succeeding, not over your abilities, but to the best of your abilities. If you feel anxious and go negative, just bring yourself back and kind of notice that you're doing it. Also, during games, you can kind of have reset moments too. Any downtime in games, you can use to imagine success in the next play, like timeouts or water breaks or halftime. You can also replay good moments in your head, not to distract yourself, but to remind yourself of what you're capable of. And that's kind of the root of our success. And then after a game, super important to write down, reflect on, or add to our highlight reel, either our mental highlight reel or our physical highlight reel that you can create, our moments of success. And again, this isn't to make ourselves feel so much bigger than anyone else. It's really to just see ourselves succeed. And you can do this for your team. If you want to feel confident about your team, you could do team imagery as well. It doesn't have to be individual, but you can do team imagery as well. So as you guys are moving through the rest of your season, please take advantage of these imagery skills of feeling confident in this way and our self-talk skills as well. If you guys are looking for more individualized meetings for your team in these last few weeks of the season or the last month or so, please have your coaches reach out to me. My email and my phone number are always included when I reach out to your coaches for these videos. So please reach out. And if I don't hear from you, good luck the rest of the season.